All right, so there's a couple different things in here. One of them is extremely funny. Two of them are, if you know what you're looking at. And it maybe you won't find it funny like a joke, like a knock knock joke, but it's funny when you see how they try and slip this in because you're never supposed to catch it. See? So I had somebody tell me one time, "Oh, this means masonry." This doesn't fucking mean masonry. Do you honestly think? Do you honestly think that this group of people would ever put themselves below masons? Masonry was an art. They were builders. They did all kinds of stuff, but they would never ever be above the Jewish people. You know that. Come on, man. That's stupid. Not only does he have it going this way, but he also has it going this way. Okay? So that those guys are called the 72s. All right? The 72s and the 88s are two different groups. The 72s, I think, are straight up demons, is what they are. The 88s might be too, but what you call demons. The 72s, and there's their logo, like I told you, remember, like a pitchfork? Now, remember, it's based around her. It's based around her. Not a him, it's a her. So he's got it going this way, right here. And he's got it going this way. Okay? None of this is normal. No human beings do this shit. They teach these kids from a early age to start thinking different than us. Now, here you have Donald Trump. What's this? Oh, he's on stair 33. Anything dealing with ladders in a picture that's questionable, or stairs, that always falls into masonry. Up the ladder and down the ladder, up the stairs, down the stairs. And notice it's stair 33. And what's the color code? White and blue. Okay, so class, anybody? Do we know what country uses white and blue? I'll give you a clue. It begins with a J and has an U in the middle. Right? So we know that country is associated with that color. So is the UN and so is NATO. Imagine that. Gee, maybe these guys are in charge of all three. So, you know this guy's bought and sold. Okay, they can play the role all they want to. Now, the part that becomes funny is when you look at this character here. Do you see where the joke is? So me, as a man, it doesn't matter. It's got wings on it. Men are pigs, really, in reality, because we're wired to fuck. That's what men are wired to do that. I mean, I don't know about today. I think they're, wired to paint their nails, but back in my day, that was the thing. Men are just fucking sex addicts because we're just created that way because we're supposed to procreate. So if we look at this picture, what's the joke in this picture? Does anybody see it? It's interesting because it's got wings like a fairy out of a fairy tale, but it's also got a mermaid's tail. That's not it. The joke is here. Are you ready? Here's the one eye symbolism, and the other joke is right here. Because I knew what to look for right away. Do you see the 33? I knew what to look for right away as soon as I see it, and as soon as you guys get good enough at doing this stuff, you will too. So you got a 3 here. And you got a 3 here. They do that on purpose because they get you to get involved with the picture or whatever. And then they use the number. The number is kind of like the curse on it or whatever. However, if you know what you're looking at, it will teach you. There's the one eye symbolism. That's the 33. Who are the 33? Them's the guys that quasi storybook time, whatever the truth or reality is. Those are the guys that are at the 33rd degree, off to the left of the Earth, in a interdimensional. Remember I showed you in a slice in between. That's where the really bad guys are. Right? So here she is here with the one eye and the 33. And like I said, once you guys get good enough at this stuff, looking at this stuff, you'll already know. When you look at a picture, you'll already know where to go to look for it. You won't just accidentally find it. You'll see the picture and then you'll go and find it and say, okay, I was right. You see, well, as soon as I looked at that picture, I knew that that was in there somewhere. Because first of all, it was a woman. It was one eye symbolism, right? And so I knew in there probably there was going to be some 33. And of course, being a man, you look right at the tits, right? And there it was. And the last bit here, this is some bullshit. Recall Adler petition following mayor's trip, which is bullshit. The gag of it is right here on the fucking coffee cup. What the hell are they kidding? This is her. This is her. There's the one eye symbolism. There's the one eye symbolism. They're playing us from every angle, and the smarter you are, the better off you are. Because it's at a point now, if you're a dummy, you're going to stay that way. It doesn't mean that everybody on the page is on the same level, but if people just have a basic understanding, they're fucking bullshitting us from every possible angle. I mean, literally. And if you're one of these dimwits that gets caught up in politics, you're a lost cause, because that is the lowest form of deception that there is. Because you're believing in that system that, like, that's the end all be all of it, when that's just a front for all the shit that's going on behind it. When you get good enough at looking at this stuff, you can look at it and you can laugh and you can move right the fuck on. Or you can look at something and go, I don't like the color codes or the way the numbers are lining up. I'm leaving. See, like when I was in karate and judo and stuff, yeah, they show you how, like Hollywood, and they're all fighting and all of that stuff. But in reality, the reason that you learned those things, karate and judo, is so that you would never use them. It was just so that you knew that you had the knowledge that if you had to use it, you could. And so that in itself becomes a safeguard. It's the same thing here. You're not gonna save the world with this stuff, people. You won't save the world with this stuff. But it may help you make a more wise decision down the road if you get pushed into a corner. Do you understand? Because there's a lot of things at stake here, and one of them is your very existence. So I'm doing what I can to try and help out on a level. Like I said, if you're on this page and you're getting any of this, you're so far ahead of the average idiot on the street who has no idea that this even exists. They don't even have any idea it exists. Look out your window. Look at the idiots that are walking around or the store with the masks on. Do you think they have any idea of any of this? So if you ever get depressed about the way things are, you can stop and smile for a moment, because you know something these people don't even know fucking exists. They can't even in their wildest dreams, even for 1 second, begin to think that they have been this blind to this. And when you look at it on a big scale, we really don't know shit, but they know less than shit. So, here's a picture of Grandpa Simpson. What does it say? Why go in and out of comas all the bzzz? Well, why is that? Well, do you see the joke? Well, we know this is a male rooster, right? Because he's got the red comb on his head. And what is a male rooster called? It's called a cock. And that's why the wings are number 33. Right? The coma bit comes from when you get sodomized, especially with children, there's a state of amnesia. And when you're in a coma and you wake up, you don't remember anything. So the guy that created The Simpsons, Matt Groening or whatever the fuck his name is, that guy is way deep into at least Masonry. I don't know if he's Jewish or not, but he's way deep into Masonry. I mean, his first line of books was called Life in Hell. So if you know what 33 is, you can kind of guess what the fuck is going on here. So once you get good enough at this stuff, everything, like, how can I put it this way? Anything that's on media that's put out to you, right? Sometimes you catch independents doing it, but mostly it's the media, TV shows, movies, comic books, whatever. they're all suspect. You just have to look and you'll find it. Because it's all subliminal mind programming. So they're always going to put that shit in there. Right? It's like somebody, you've already figured out that every dinner that they make you is poisoned. Now all you got to do is just find the poison in it. You'll find it. You don't have to eat any of it to find out. Right? All you got to do is just test it to find out which poison's in it. Because you already know that they're feeding you poison. It's already corrupted, in other words. That's a better way to put it. You already know it's corrupted. If it's mainstream or anything that people just latch onto, watch out. Because I guarantee you, that thing is loaded with subliminals and all kinds of fucking demonic shit to bring you in. So you don't have to be a great detective, but if you already understand that everything here is corrupted, that there's an intelligent design behind the corruption, then everything becomes suspect, and you've walked up one level, not like Trump's doing, but you've moved up a level into understanding where you live. In other words, don't ever take the way that you feel and project it onto other shit, because then you're projecting your good nature onto something that's bad, and you're assuming that they wouldn't do that to you because you wouldn't do that to them. Do you understand? So basically, trust none of this stuff. I don't mean our work. I mean any of this stuff. You following? Oh, and to those that have threw a little bit more money, and I appreciate it. It helps. You know, I'll get this thing under control at some point, but thanks for helping out a little bit more. It's nice that I got friends like you, because if I didn't, believe me, I couldn't lean on family. They're never going to help. I think a lot of people on this page realize that.